You want me to fly a what? It's my editor calling. She has a story idea. I stall her while I quickly Google the airplane that she mentioned. After all, I'm the expert. Well, that's how most of our flight tests begin. Sort of. It's a unique privilege to be able to test airplanes for Skies magazine, but also a considerable challenge. The airplanes are often unfamiliar, brand new, and represent the best design solutions of a talented engineering team. My job is to criticize. How do you quickly take the measure of an airplane in one flight without bending any aluminum? My approach is to stick closely to the fundamentals of test flying. The first step is homework. It's imperative to understand the airplane in its context. Why was it built? What market does it serve? One needs to understand the aircraft's specific purpose. In short, it's about the mission. But mission can be more subtle than it appears. Take a close look at any business jet, and you'll often find that there are at least a half a dozen closely competitive designs. Business jets, in particular, by virtue of their clientele, seem to be a hugely diverse ecosystem of distinctive species. You can't evaluate the airplane until you see it through the eyes of a potential customer. The test flight is about getting at the facts. If an airplane has shortcomings, and they all do, it's up to me to find them. Safety is paramount. Experience has taught test pilots that their business doesn't lend itself to improvisation. Every test flight is carefully scripted, and deviations from the plan are rarely tolerated. The cardinal rule of flight testing is plan the flight and fly the plan. Performance is spot-checked against data published in the flight manual. Where handling qualities are concerned, time constraints demand a quick look at a few key maneuvers, tasks that will highlight the capabilities or weaknesses of the machine. I think they told me sometime during test pilot training to avoid touching buttons that I don't understand. Red buttons in particular were to be avoided. In this spirit, it's sometimes wise to defer to the demonstration pilot whenever something about the machine seems unfamiliar or particularly technique-intensive, and it's often true that letting the other pilot fly can make me a better observer. Ultimately, the unscientific objective of any test flight is to arrive at an opinion of how well the aircraft serves its target market. There's no way to quantify it. Arriving at a calibrated opinion is more art than science. Back on the ground after the flight, I make a point to share my impressions with the company's representatives, both the good and not so good features, as I saw them. Not every evaluation is glowing. My editor reminds me that I can write whatever I want, so long as I'm right. In my experience, if I describe the aircraft fairly in terms of its strengths and shortcomings, the company representatives just nod agreeably. Engineering design is the art of compromise. For Skies magazine, I'm Rob Erdos.